Hello guys, welcome back to my channel, Mars for Barnsy. This is an interesting image, and to be perfectly honest with you, I wasn't sure whether or not to actually put it up for viewing, because it's a very difficult image to work with because of the obfuscation and the heavy orange saturation on it. It was really difficult to get anything out of it, but I have discovered what I think are structures on this image, and I'm going to take a chance and I'm going to show you exactly what I found. It may be clear to you guys, or you might not be able to really see a great deal. I mean, I can, obviously, because I can look at it in minute detail on my monitor, and I can see, you know, with good clarity. It might not come across to yourselves as very clear. I don't know. I'm gonna put it out there anyway, because I think it's an interesting image, and I do believe it's definitely shown some kind of structures. I mean, myself personally, I think it's some kind of industrial complex on the face of Olympus Mons, and the actual title of the image is Perspective View of the Eastern Scarp of Olympus Mons, looking southwest. That's the official title from the European Space Agency, and this is taken by the Mars Express orbiter at 11 meters per pixel, which is quite good for the Mars Express orbiter, 11 meters per pixel. But as usual, the clarity isn't that good. It's a JPEG. It's about 7 or 8 megabytes. It's supposed to be a high-res JPEG, but that's very debatable as to whether it is high resolution. I think they manipulate these images so much. But ESA, the European Space Agency, is still well better than NASA. How anybody can glean anything from NASA images, I just do not know. They absolutely batter their images. They take all the details out of them, and in my personal opinion, they're scientifically worthless. That's what I think anyway. You can get very little information out of NASA images. On the other hand, the European Space Agency images, you are able to get information out of them. Sometimes it's easier to do than others, and this one was quite a hard, difficult one. But anyway, I'll do my best, and I'll take a chance and show it to you and see what you think. You can comment and tell me whether you think there's something there, or it's just pareidolia, or it's imagination. I personally don't think it is. I think it's definitely structures, and I think ESA have done quite a good job in hiding them and obfuscating them, but I did come across it, and I did spot these structures. Now, I think this image was taken in 2004 and released in 2006. I'll put all the details at the start of the image, so you know, and I strongly recommend anything that I show on this channel. I strongly recommend that you go and download the images yourself, put them in to some kind of image software, and experiment and have a little look. See what you can find. Don't take my word for it. I'm not asking you to take my word for it. I'm just putting these images out there. I give my opinion on what I think they are, and then, you know, I'll leave it up to you guys whether or not you think there's anything in it. I certainly do, and you know, I'm pretty convinced that there was a civilization at Mars at some time in its past. I think ESA and NASA have known about it for years, and for various reasons, I think they're hiding it from the general public. Anyway, this is the image that you can see. Now, The actual area of interest is here. This is where I first spotted the images. By the way, there's all sorts in this image, all sorts, seriously. The sculptures all over it, but they're very, very, very difficult to get out, and you virtually have to destroy the image to bring anything out, and it wouldn't be fair to show you, you know, a half destroyed image. I mean, I'm taking a chance on the ones I'm going to show you, but you know, but just so you know, the sculptures and the structures all across Olympus Mons, all across here, but they're very, very well hidden. Anyway, this is the area here. You can just about see it, just about see it. But I'm hoping, if you just bear with me, I'm hoping just to enhance it for you. But it's that area anyway. Sorry about all the squiggly lines, but that's the area that we're going to be looking at. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to enhance it, increase the pixels. Now this is what I spotted originally. I always look in the corners, by the way, because sometimes when they're obscuring these, they sometimes miss the edges or the extreme corners of an image. But this is what caught my eye. There was just something about this particular area that didn't look natural to me, and even on this image, although it's not very good, you can make out straight lines and like a grid pattern. You can see, just let me get rid of that. You can see this particular area here looks unusual, because it is, and I think all this is being gouged out. All this is being gouged out, and structures and pipes and tubes have all been placed here because I think it's an industrial area. Now normally I would put Windows magnifier across this and magnify it. That's what I normally do to enhance the images for myself personally, but with the recording software that I use, you can't have Windows magnifier overlaid on it in Windows 7 for some reason. I don't know why, but so what I've done, I've actually taken some images of this area and I've enhanced the images. So if you come out to this, and then this is the file where I keep them. Now if we just click on this, I'll just expand that. Now this is a close-up of that particular area, and I know you'll find it difficult on tablets and mobile phones to see this. I do recommend that you have a look at it on a PC monitor, a fairly big PC monitor in high definition 1080, and you should see the structures. Just get the pencil tool. Now this is the main structure here. I don't know whether you can see that, guys. I hope so. It's like a circular feature here with a dome in the center, and then the top, it's like a tube of some sort that runs along here. I don't know whether you can see that, comes right down, and you can actually see the shadow underneath the tube. Just step back from that. Okay, and then here is like, looks to me like a dome. I don't know whether you can see that, but it's like a dome, and within the dome you can actually see like shadowy areas here, and I think that's where you can most probably enter this structure, and there's like a pipe that comes along, like a tube, and comes along here, and then down, and then there's another tube that runs along there. I do understand that they are quite difficult to see. I'll do my best to try and bring the clarity out for you. But even on this, at 66%, you can still see, yeah, at 25, this is only 25% by the way, but you can still see that there's something there. Okay, now if I just come out of that, and I'll go to the second image. Now this is slightly bigger. I've enhanced this one just a little tiny bit more, and I'm open that you can see the structure a little tiny bit better. I don't know whether that you can see it there. Can you see it here? You can actually see like a dome in the middle. Then there's like a circular wall here. It's either a wall or this is a structure, and this is the shadow underneath it. And then you can see the dome here. Can you see that? Maybe if you just step back a little bit, you might be able to see it. I don't know whether that's a little bit better, but you can see the tube. You can see this like the round circular feature here, and you can see like this is up off the floor. See, it's up off the floor there, and then comes down to this slope, and you can actually see the shadow. You can see the shadow better there, I think. Can you see that? Like a shadow underneath it. Here, you can actually walk under that. If you were here, you could walk under and underneath this, whatever it is. I don't know whether it's a giant structure. I don't know that it's part of the rock, but I do know that all this area has been gouged out of the side of the mountain, and there's all sorts of structures, and they look like factory units to me. I'll you know, that's what I think they are. And you can see that dome-like structure again. It looks like a dome anyway. You can actually see the entrances there. I hope that you can see them. I can certainly see them there. There's like lines like that, and then comes round, and then here there's, it's like a tube that may, or structures. You see them, it comes along like that, and there's something here, and there's something there, and this is like a I think there's structures here as well. See these here? I think these are structures all along here, and there's this like triangular shape here. See that? And I'm pretty certain these are structures within here as well. Okay, if you just I'll just close that. Okay, go to this one. I've done some of them in different colours to see whether or not it brings them out a little tiny bit better. I don't know whether that's a little bit clearer. I don't know whether you can see the dome. You see the dome there, and then you can see this structure here. Can you see that? You can see the this intrigues me. This, I don't know whether it's part of the rock or whether it's an artificial structure, or they've just bored the way through it. See that, the entrance there? This is like an entrance along here, and then this is like a bridge. See the way this comes over here, or like a road. See, and there's, you can just about see them, but there's structures round structures all along here. Again, the structures along here. I hope you can see the dots I'm making. I know they're not perfectly clear, but there's absolutely all sorts in this image. All sorts, honestly. Just close that. Go on to that. Go to this fourth image. So I made this one slightly darker to see whether or not that would make it a little bit clearer. Just go into Photoshop here. Now, can you see the structure again there? The dome. It looks like a dome here, and you can see the pipe or tube. You see like a tube coming along here, and then the tube comes along there, and all this is the top of a building, I think, and this is either the opening to it here, or there's a giant tube here coming out the ground or into the ground. And there's that dome like structure. So I'll just close that. Now this one I really made bright, very bright, orangey bright. I know it's a crazy colour, I understand that, guys, but I'm doing my best to put these in every single type of colour I can, so that you might be able to see different aspects of the image. I think with this particular colour you can actually see the dome here. Very good, very clear. I mean, it's not a very realistic colour, but you can see some of the structures and the artifacts and the runes. Anyway, guys, I just thought I'd show you that one. It's not, I know they're not the clearest images, but in my view there's something definitely there, without a doubt. I think it looks like an industrial complex. It's on the side of Olympus Mons. I can't even tell you the size of these. I'm sure some of you guys could maybe work out, you know, from the 11 meters per pixel resolution just how big they are, but they're absolutely huge. I know that much. And I've often wondered whether the civilization on Mars was primitive because of the other sculptures that I've discovered, and I could never work out whether we were looking at an advanced civilization or primitive civilizations. But obviously looking at these structures, we're looking at some kind of advanced civilization, aren't we? Because it looks like heavy mining or heavy industry was being carried out on the side of Olympus Mons, or maybe the orbiter is capturing images of several civilizations from the earliest times up until they were destroyed or wiped out. Because I don't think that there's anything still living on Mars. I'd be very surprised, but who knows? They've kept these secret from us for a long time, so I don't think we're going to really know and find out until we actually send men to land on Mars. And even then, are we going to get told the truth? Because if they're hiding these images from us, which they are, they're serious about the general public not knowing about these artifacts and about this ancient civilization that once existed on Mars. I've got several theories. I mean, the main theory is because 200 years of scientific thought is going to be turned upside down on its head if this is true. I think human history will have to be re-evaluated. I mean, myself personally, I'm absolutely convinced. I mean, I look at these virtually every single day, you know, and you can't tell me that that is natural. I do not think that's for 1 second that that's natural. I see tubes, I see circular features, domes, I see the shadows underneath the structures, I see pipes, I see bridges, and I just don't think for 1 second that it's artificial. I mean, I actually think that all this here is a city. I think these are all artificial structures. I think there's, because if you have a look at it very, very carefully, you can see lines running along. And in other images I've looked at around here, I am pretty certain that these are all structures. But that obscured, you know, Esther have done a really good job of obscuring all this, and it's very, very, very difficult to bring out any detail. Anyway, guys, I hope you found it interesting. I hope it's a little bit of food for thought, and I'll see you on the next video. Thanks very much for taking the time to watch it. Please comment, and if you want to subscribe, please do. Okay guys, see you on the next video. Thank you very much for watching this one. Bye for now.